Good morning, story trading folks. It's May 9th, 9 a.m. Wow, we have so much really good content for you this morning. So stay with us, grab a cushion. We're going to have Vegas join us at 9:15 a.m. But get ready. All right. Going to have some good actionable trade ideas for you. First of all, CPI is tomorrow. So keep that in mind. That's always a risk event. I will say, though, I've been saying the QQQ SPY, these charts have been really good. And it looks like the markets have been wanting to go up ever since right before FOMC. We have Apple out of the way. So market wants to go up. Technicals are good, but still it's a risk going into CPI you got to be aware of. So play that how you like, whether it's increased cash or hedge. I've been hedging with some gold and Bitcoin a little bit short QQQ just as a hedge against a very long position. That's about it here. I will also say a lot of risk asset charts, a couple of other items. Hold on. Where's ARKK? So a lot of risk asset charts are showing really bullish signs. We see lots of charts breaking the 20 DMA, moving to the 50 DMA. Oh, look at that. I didn't even know ARKK was going to show that. But I've seen this in a lot of microcap stocks, risk assets, just in the last couple of days. We've seen a lot of charts breaking the 50 DMA, moving to the 200 DMA. And the panel that I'm involved with every week at Wolf Financial Spaces, basically, universally, everyone was bullish. It's the first time I've had this signal from this panel in like a year. Okay. Doesn't mean they're bullish macroeconomically. I certainly am not, but at least in the near term, technically, things are looking good. But just be aware, we got to get over CPI tomorrow. Now, so much to cover. I don't even know where to begin. Okay. So this is not necessarily in priority order. First of all, we interviewed the CEO of AIR yesterday, and that was live only. So I'm sorry, there's no recording. So you won't get the full benefit. I could just tell you that we discussed that Tesla report that came out on silicon carbide, and he gave me, very good reassurance that that's not really an issue that's going to impact their business for like a decade. Okay, a decade. We're talking about a decade before any sort of disruption in silicon carbide. Okay, and then we talked silicon photonics and got some more insight on when that could inflect for the company. And we'll leave it at that for AIR. Also, speaking of events, tomorrow, we're actually not going to have Chris Tuttle at 10:30 a.m. He can't make it tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. We'll do some recording with him. We'll be at a different time, but we will have a different event tomorrow regarding SMSI. Tomorrow after the close, we'll have Brian Perlis here with us at 4:30 p.m., and I believe that's also live only, no recording. I have to double check with him. Yeah, I think that's also, yes, it is. Live only, no recording. So he is the expert on SMSI. Earnings are the next day on Thursday after the close. So tomorrow after the close, we're going to get the update from him on what to expect on SMSI earnings and if he is predicting any kind of results to speak of. And this broke the 50 DMA yesterday. Obviously, looks really good when you break the 50 DMA. Looking at these candles, it broke through a lot of these resistance levels. So like it looks like 150 is next. I would be suspicious of the stock. Like, what, you want to get to 150 before the earnings report? I guess if there's like lots of channel data out there, and Brian may know that, channel check data for the market to basically predict a good earnings report. We see that happening with Celsius. Celsius is reporting tonight, and this broke out and hit both of our levels, 102 and then 108. It hit 107.99 last night. Earnings are tonight. Pretty much there's lots of channel check data out there that can predict a good earnings report. It's only a matter of how good, and is it good enough to get to new all-time highs, or is it just good enough to stay in the bullish channel above the 200-day DMA and pull back to 96 or 100? We'll find out tonight on Celsius. Now, oh my gosh, so much news. DRIO was not even on my list this morning till like 15 minutes ago because they just had news come out. Okay, this came out at 8:34 a.m. with Sanofi. And this is really important news. The stock's not moving in pre-market yet. Certainly, I'm not going to advocate jumping in at the ask at 382 or anything like that. This is a type of news that can go underappreciated by the market and only appreciated by people who are in DRIO and in the segment and know what's going on here. In the past, DRIO has reported some data on their own that they had collected. And it didn't necessarily seem so impressive. It was about basically reduction in HbA1c levels for diabetics. There was some other data on posture. But this one's from a third party, Sanofi, and not just any third party, a multi-billion-dollar mega cap pharmaceutical company that knows how to do studies, right? And there's two very interesting things about this study. One is the end result. 9.3% reduction in all-cause healthcare resource utilization rates, and a 23.5% decrease in hospitalization for DRIO users. The headline, very strong, very important data. And if you scroll down and you look at how they did the study, this is impressive because this is a rigorous study. First of all, it's statistically significant. And it goes on to tell you how they did it. It says through claims data and tokenization. I don't know what this means, but it looks like they did it right, to build highly comparable groups through a meticulous matching method that matched 2,500 DARA users with 7,300 non-users. So this is insurance plans. And I know from conversations with DRIO that Sanofi intends to do that they have relationships with insurers. And part of this relationship that Sanofi has with DRIO, they're going to be selling to the insurers that they have relationships with. And of course, they're going to give some of that revenue to Sanofi since they're partners. So this is incredibly important news. Now, beware of a couple things. They just did an offering last week, and they have earnings coming up Thursday after the close, I believe. Or no, before the open, I think it is, right? So are they putting out all this good news ahead of an earnings report that might be underwhelming? That's a possibility. We've seen that happen before. But on the other hand, for the long term, this data, this news is so important. I think there's a chance that will test the 50 DMA. I think obviously there's a chance we'll test the 50 DMA at 395, but there's even a chance before earnings that we can break the 50 DMA at 395, depending on who's watching and if they also find this data important from DRIO. So that's at the top of my list. Doesn't mean it's the top stock on watch day. We have so much others. I'm going to go to HIMS because HIMS was one we were closely watching. And at first blush, it looked like this price action was really confusing because they had a huge beat. If you go to over here, you can see Q2 revenue, 200. No, that was Q2 guidance. Here, they beat by 2 cents, and the revenue beat 191 versus 179. Not only that, Q2, 200 beats 183 estimate. Not only that, full year, 810 to 830 million versus 755 million estimate. So why is this stock down? You had to dig a little deeper to see that although their revenue guidance was up a lot, their earnings guidance was not really increased. It was just narrowed from a range of 20 to 30 million, and they narrowed it to 25 to 30 million. And I noticed that when I saw the price action was poor, I went and dug deeper. I noticed that. Then I listened to the conference call, and exactly an analyst pinpointed that, said, what's going on here? Basically, they said they're reinvesting in growth. That was the answer. They're reinvesting in growth, but they're still on target for $100 million EBITDA plus in 2025 and beyond. And they think by even reinvesting in this growth that they can even exceed that EBITDA target in 2025. But you can see here that the stock is dropping below the 20 DMA. That might be support resistance today. We could go all the way down to 1040, 1030. So not fun on HIMS if you jumped on that news. But there's a lesson to be learned there. The lesson is not only do you need to look at guidance, you need to look at basically the implied margins of that, right? When most of the revenue, well, almost none of the revenue goes to the bottom line, that means your incremental margins are poor. But guess what? Here's another stock we're monitoring, GENI. Why are we monitoring GENI? We're monitoring SRAD and GENI because of DraftKings that went up 20% on the earnings beat. SRAD and GENI provide the technology for these sports betting sites. And we played SRAD on the sympathy play last week very well. On Friday, we had that big beat, big move. It was a delayed reaction, so that worked well. SRAD reports tomorrow morning. But first, you got GENI this morning. GENI this morning, big beat. And more importantly, here you can see, forget about it was, here we go, 97 versus, it said they actually missed on EPS, but that doesn't matter. It's guidance that matters. They raised their guidance significantly. They raised their guidance by 19%. And here's what's special when taking it back to HIMS. Almost 100% of their increased revenue is going straight to that adjusted EBITDA line, which implies high incremental margins, very high incremental margins. If you do a re-rating calculation on their new EBITDA guidance for the year, that's at 19%, takes you to the 490, something like 495. And you got resistance here at the 15,200 DMA at 437 or so. I think we can break that today. Could be wrong. That's what I think. I think we could make a move towards the 490s on the strength of this earnings increase. And then you can have SRAD do a sympathy play as well. Now, I listened to 3 conference calls last night. I listened to HIMS, I listened to SKYT, and I listened to ASUR. Okay, out of the 3, SKYT had the best report. Now, both SKYT and ASUR raised. So let's just talk about the raise. Now, SKYT, I can't do an earnings re-rating number on that because they're still not profitable. The 13 cents, the 6 cents, negative 6 cents beat negative 13 cents. But here's a big 10% beat on sales, 66 or 60 million. But this was a very bullish conference call. They're firing on all cylinders. They're getting a lot of government business, aerospace defense business, which they said is urgent. And that's the reason for the sales beat, despite overall macroeconomic softness in the semiconductor industry because they have big aerospace defense exposure. They're doing pretty well. So I think this stock could definitely challenge 1064 at that 200 DMA and potentially break that 50 DMA and make a move higher. Maybe it will take days or weeks to play out. This, I think, could be a multi-day mover. I think SKYT could be a multi-day mover. And again, you can see those levels. You can see in the past when it's broken key resistance levels, it tends to go on for a while. So I really like what I saw out of SKYT. Now I'm throwing QUIK up. Wait a second. QUIK is in, they do a partnership with SKYT, right? On the radiation hardened semiconductors. EFPGA. Radiation hardened, I forget exactly what it's called. Yeah, radiation hardened. Yeah, radiation hardened. FPGA technology. So I was thinking, oh wow, maybe QUIK is going to run. They have earnings in less than 2 weeks, and maybe this bodes well for QUIK. But after listening to the conference call and looking at the presentation, I found out that much of this beat coming from the aerospace and defense sector was not related to the RAD hard program. RAD hard for SKYT is radiation hardened, right? Which they're doing that technology in conjunction with QUIK. Much of that increase came from other government programs, not the RAD hard program. That being said, throwing QUIK back on the radar because QUIK did tell us in the summer, which now we're entering the summer. I think they said early summer, they would find out if the government would move forward with the balance of that 72 million contract. They got 7 million out of 72 million, right? And we're going to find out pretty soon if they get the other like 65 million. And that's going to be huge for a company with a $75 million market cap. So QUIK back on watch, thanks to the earnings report coming out of SKYT. The other thing, ASUR did an earnings re-rating, and one which we can calculate because they're profitable. They increased their guidance by 15%. If you apply that to the price yesterday, that gives you a $15.50 price target. You got some work to do on the technicals, though, but 15.50 is above both the 20 and 50 DMA. So I think there's definitely a chance we can break above the 50 and 20 DMA. Now, last time, look at this. Last time they had a gap, but it took a couple days till you had this nice big move because you didn't really have an opportunity on the first day if you bought it to open. It took 2 days to see a big move. So do we get a big move today? Does it happen in the next couple days? I don't know. We'll try to bring Chris Tarber on for an interview. Quick comments on that. We'll try to bring him on at some point in the next day or so. But I like the conference call in this one. I did listen to the conference call. It looks good. It looks like a clean re-rating play, 15%. So again, implied valuation of 15.50. And, you know, if it breaks that 20 DMA, maybe it heads back towards the all-time highs in a swing time frame. That's ASUR. We had XXII with earnings. Their conference calls at 10 a.m. There was a lot of information on their growth initiatives for VLN cigarettes. But I didn't see what I wanted to see for a massive re-rating. I'm waiting for McLean to get signed. I'm waiting for 7-Eleven to get signed. It doesn't appear that's happened yet. And to me, it looks like they've pushed back profitability a little bit as well. I might be wrong. I thought they previously said first half of 2024 profitability for the cigarette, the tobacco segment. Now it looks like they're saying second half 2024. But for the cannabis segment, they're still saying the hemp cannabis, they're still saying first half 2024. But let's see if we can get some clarity at 10 a.m. I'll be on the conference call and we'll find out what's going on with 7-Eleven, because obviously once they launch or sign 7-Eleven, this thing can really take off. So we're just watching that, not really jumping on it. We had a bunch of bigger cap earnings. We had Palantir, PayPal, Shoals, and Lucid. I'm not going to cover most of them. Just Palantir, I want to note there is resistance at 9, which it's playing with in aftermarket here and pre-market. You can see very strong candles. It's been resisted. One time it spiked above it, went right back below. So there's very strong resistance at 9. I'll let you know the key important things about this is they were profitable. They beat 5 cents, beat 4 cents. If you do the math on that and annualize it, it looks expensive, right? It looks like we're talking about a 50 PE, but they did say they're expecting profitability for the remaining quarters of 2023, which is important. But importantly, they talked about an AI product that they've released or that they're releasing that has unprecedented demand. So you have that sentiment from the AI. You have this $9 that's trying to break. I'm not playing this right now. Maybe Vegas will have an opinion on it. She's better with the big caps, but there are some tailwinds there. That $9 level is key. GEO we're watching as well. GEO and CXW with expiration of Title 42 or Title, I think it's Title 42, and what's going on at the Texas border. Man, I regret so much. I posted this on Twitter yesterday when that Texas news came out, and the thing was like 750 and it didn't move. But like I didn't tell anyone about it. I just posted on Twitter, didn't do anything about it, didn't tell anyone about it other than my Twitter post, and the thing just exploded. I don't know why I didn't jump on it. Shame on me. But GEO is above the 50 DMA now. It could have legs to that 200 DMA on this Title 42 news, along with CXW. Last two I'm going to mention before we go to Vegas is DSKE. This could be a earnings re-rating play to the downside. They reduced earnings estimates for the year from 235 million to 215 million. This is a trucking company, and they noted macroeconomic weakness. Okay, that may be a clue for the rest of the economy, by the way. 235 to 250, that's a reduction of 8.5%. If you do the math on that based on the close yesterday, we're talking about $6.90, which is close enough to the 200 DMA. I wonder if this can test the 200 DMA today at $6.74. And the opportunity to short it if you're into that sort of thing. It might be up because Q1 EPS beats 12 cents, beats 6 cents, but we know that doesn't mean anything. It's all about guidance. So that headline may be tricking some people this morning. So that's what I'm looking for. Downside on DSKE today. I'm looking for continued upside on PERI. I think yesterday was our inflection. Hopefully make a move towards $36. You know that's the Bing ChatGPT play. And with that, we're going to bring on our friend Vegas. Here we go. Good morning, Vegas. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you? Lots of energy this morning. That's good.
Oh, lots, because I listened to, I read like 10, 15 press releases last night, and I listened to 3 conference calls, and I'm ready to go.
Good. Well, quite a bit. Like we saw PLTR. I heard you talk about PLTR this morning. So, we really got to watch this level here because, I'm looking at PLTR. It's playing around here at the $9 range here. It's currently $9.19. If we can get this over $9.50, and I will say the tape's looking good. Like the time and sales tape looks good. So I'm coming in with some size here. I think the market likes this news, the earnings report. And so if it can break $9.50, okay, this can make a move. And we could see it heading towards 10. And if it breaks 10, watch out. This can go to 11.25 and 12.50. So
what are you doing? Are you playing it? Are you in it? You're waiting?
I'm waiting. I will wait till it breaks 9.50. And if it breaks 9.50, I'll buy the stock. I mean, there are options on it too, but I'll just buy the stock.
Okay, very good. That's Palantir. Anything else on your radar?
Of course. Google. Google looks great. And a key level to watch on Google will be over 110. But I like that it's over 108.
Oh, wow. So that's a good-looking chart. Look at this chart. I love it.
It's a gorgeous chart. So the fact that it's over 108 is like screaming, let's, take me. So that looks phenomenal.
This is a gorgeous, phenomenal chart.
Of course. It's a like I said, screaming, like, come get me. So I love it. So if it breaks it's over 108. So I'm very comfortable taking a trade on a swing perspective. And for someone that wants to day trade, probably got to wait for the 110 break for the real action to come in. So, but it's still a good entry here over 108. And then the other one that I'm looking at is obviously keeping my eyes on NVIDIA over 291 looks great. And then last but not least, I think Snow was mentioned to me the other night, and Snow looks okay. Let me just take a look here. Snow, if it gets over 159.14, okay, so we're not far from there. It hasn't moved, maybe towards 165. So keep a watch on Snow. So Snow, PLTR, and NVIDIA top watches. Oh, and AMD, of course, and Google. But
And
AMD,
Google.
watch over 95 on AMD. Looks fabulous.
All right.
And AMD had news, by the way, that I just got some news that they just announced the AMD Data Center and AI Technology Premiere. The event is going to showcase the company's growth strategy and product portfolio and capabilities for data center and AI. So that news just came out today.
That's good. We like that story trading style.
Love
They're combining
that.
pillars. This is also a nice chart. I looked at all these charts as you were speaking. I do like Google the best. It's just purely technically speaking.
Screaming.
So looks good. I like those picks. We'll be monitoring them. And I think there's another stock we'll be monitoring that you mentioned to us. CPNG has earnings tonight. So
so CPNG is my earnings play for tonight, and definitely will be watching CPNG to make a move after hours. Wait and see. I have to wait for the news to come out and the guidance.
What is this? This is the Korean Amazon, is it?
Yeah, it's everything. It's Amazon, Uber, Netflix, Apple Music, all in one. Like they just do everything.
Korean,
and IPO price was like 60.
Korea, right?
Yeah, IPO price was like 63.50. So I mean, look at the price now. It's 17.65.
All right. As always, Vegas, good stuff.
Last but not least, you heard about Boeing, right? Boeing had news that they got an order. Well, Boeing had news, and so that's why it popped this morning. Ryanair ordered 300 737 MAX jets.
That sounds like a lot.
$40 billion.
$40 billion. Wow. $40 billion. That is a lot.
That's big bucks. Big bucks.
That's $118 billion market cap getting a $40 billion order. Wow.
Listen, they ordered 300 Boeings. That's a lot. 300?
That is a lot. Yeah.
You know, so that's big money, big bucks, and the market likes the news, and Boeing is currently gapped up this morning a little bit off that news. So one to watch.
Awesome. I love it.
All right. We'll see what kind of day we're going to have. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
We'll see everyone later. Take care. Bye-bye.